Authorities in France have released the boss of the Telegram messaging app, Pavel Durov. The tech entrepreneur was granted conditional release with bail of €5 million. He must also remain in France and report to police twice a week. Russian-born Durov was arrested in Paris over the weekend. Earlier, he was charged with violations relating to the messaging app. Prosecutors say Durov is complicit in crimes committed by others on his platform. Durov's detainment came as part of an inquiry opened last month involving 12 alleged criminal violations, including complicity in selling child sexual abuse material, complicity in drug trafficking, fraud, abetting organised crime transactions and refusing to share information with investigators when required to by law, for example, to combat terrorism. Eva Galperin is the Director of Cybersecurity at the Electronic Frontier Foundation, which is a digital rights group based in San Francisco. Eva, good to see you. When we spoke the other day, you weren't particularly happy with the lack of detail about what Durov was being accused of and why. Now that he has been charged, I'm wondering what your thoughts are 2 days later.
Well, we actually still don't have any more details than we had yesterday about exactly what this investigation is all about. So I have many of the same concerns. The only thing that's changed is that Durov is no longer in jail, but he is stuck in France, and we're still not entirely sure why while this investigation continues.
I guess, though, underpinning all of this is what French prosecutors say is the role of Telegram in organised crime. What does make Telegram attractive for illegal activities?
Well, it depends. One of the things that people really misunderstand about Telegram is that Telegram is actually two different services. One of them is a set of channels and kind of group chats and unencrypted communications among large numbers of people, and the other is a way of talking to someone one-on-one with secret messages enabled deliberately, which will give you an end-to-end encrypted chat. And these are two different things. One of them, the first, is really more like Facebook or the site that used to be Twitter, and the second is more like WhatsApp or Signal or Facebook Messenger messages.
Eva, stay with us. Pavel Durov's lawyer spoke a little bit earlier. Let's listen to what he had to say.
I would like to add that it is totally absurd to think that the head of a social network could be involved in criminal acts that don't concern him either directly or indirectly.
Eva Galperin, French investigators say they found the app Telegram has been used by extremists and drug traffickers, for example. Can Pavel Durov be held responsible for what third parties do on his platform?
Again, it depends. If these charges have to do with conversations that people are having in their sort of one-on-one end-to-end encrypted chats, end-to-end encryption makes it so that Pavel Durov and the people at Telegram cannot see what people are talking about. So he cannot be held responsible for the contents of those communications, and he cannot respond to requests from governments or law enforcement to spy on those communications or to hand over information about those communications to governments or law enforcement. But the stuff that happens in group chats or that happens on channels is another matter entirely. That is all visible to Telegram, and Telegram can do moderation and can respond to requests from governments and law enforcement, though often they choose not to. So
why do they choose not to?
It's not entirely clear. It's my understanding that Telegram is a very small company, that they do very little moderation. They have approximately 30 employees, most of which are engineers, and very few of which I understand are lawyers or people who do content moderation. It's cheaper to just leave all of that stuff up there, but it also puts them in tremendous legal jeopardy.
Eva, this is specifically about Telegram. I'm wondering about the broader implications. Are other messaging apps doing things differently, or could their bosses also be looking nervously at all this?
Again, there's a big difference between messaging apps, end-to-end encrypted messaging apps, where the company cannot see what people are talking about to each other, and sort of these social media platforms where the company can, in fact, see what everybody is saying. Expecting companies to do moderation of things that they can see is not always unreasonable. Expecting the company to do moderation of communications that they deliberately cannot see is not only impossible, but insisting that they do it means that they would have to break the encryption that allows them to not see the contents of these communications in the first place, and makes the communications fundamentally unsafe.
I'd like to thank you for your time again, Eva. That is Eva Galperin from the Electronic Frontier Foundation in San Francisco. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.